Hi there, and welcome to this 119th live tech Q&A session where you can ask me some tech-related questions, and hopefully I'll be able to answer them. And you can post your questions via Twitter, and you have to use the hashtag that is askgeekyranjit. And if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. And I just started this Q&A session a bit early because I've already got quite a few questions. So let's get along with this one, and let's start. And the first question I got was from Abhijit, and he's asking an interesting question. He says, "Do all smartphones support VR headsets? If not, what is the requirement?" Uh, Most of the smartphones will support VR functionality. You just need a VR headset like this or a Google Cardboard, but you need gyroscope functionality on your smartphone for the VR to work. Because if gyroscope is not there, and let's say you're wearing the headset and if you're moving around, it won't detect that. Hence, the experience will not be good. So make sure gyroscope functionality is there. And I found that the gyroscope functionality is generally not present in budget oriented handsets and I would say entry level handsets, but with mid range and high end phones, most of them do support gyroscope. But again, if it's a Samsung phone, just be careful, because even this Galaxy A7, which is pretty expensive, does not have that gyroscope support. So gyroscope support should be there. Let's move to the next question. And this is by Yashraj. He's asking, what are your thoughts on the LG G5? Yes, LG just about 2 days ago announced the LG G5. And I would say LG has done a very interesting thing. They have actually unveiled one of the first big, I would say, modular smartphone. So their take is very different from other manufacturers who are just going over the spec race. Yes, the LG G5 still packs that Snapdragon 820 chipset. So it's a powerful phone, but now they have modules. You can just take out and add in new models. For example, let's say if you're an audiophile, they have a module for that will supposedly give you better audio using a 32-bit DAC. They also have a module for camera. So it's an interesting take. But one thing that I had noticed with the LG G5 is that LG is not very clear about the pricing of these modules. So we don't know how much these modules will cost. Yes, I am suspecting that initially, because it's a very new concept, the modules will be expensive. But I'm happy to see that now we have started to get these modular phones. And I'm hoping that in the near future, some of these other Chinese brands which produce affordable smartphones, if they also get into this, then we will have very interesting smartphones in the near future. So pretty excited about the LG G5. Let's move. This is by Fayaq Javed. He's asking, any news about the launch of the iPhone 5 SE? When will it be launched? Will it launch in April? Sorry, have no idea about it. Lots of rumors flying around, but there is no concrete info. There are rumors that Apple might launch an affordable smartphone and also the new iPad 3 in the next coming months. So in March, in fact, the rumors were pointing, but we don't have an official statement. Let's move. This is by Arib Hussein. He says, should I upgrade from the Galaxy S6 Edge to the S7 Edge after it comes to the market? Arib, as you are already having the S6 Edge, I would ask you this question. If you're not happy with the S6 Edge, then you might consider. But I would say the major two improvements I see with the S7 Edge would be one huge improvement would be in terms of battery life, because the S7 Edge sports that huge 3600 milliamp hour battery. So the battery life should be very good. And again, there will be improvements in terms of camera performance. So these are the two huge improvements that you should see. So again, stay tuned to my channel. I'll definitely try to review once it's launched. It should launch sometime in March 2nd or 3rd week. I think so, about 3rd week, not 2nd week. Yeah. Let's move. This is by Radhe Tripathi. He's asking, does the LE TV promise regular Android OTA updates? I am not regarding OTA updates. We just got an OTA update on this LE1S just last week, and some users have already posted my review. So I didn't test that update, but some of the users have said that after that OTA update, the battery life has actually improved on this LE1S. So yes, OTA updates are coming, and I'm also currently testing this LE Max, which is their phablet device. And yes, I got OT updates on this one also. So yes, OT updates will come. But Android updates, for example, it's moving from Lollipop to Marshmallow. That will take a huge time. That won't come fast because it's running on a custom UI. Let's move to the next question. And before I take up the next question, I just wanted to address one issue. Some of the you guys have said that this live Q&A feed is coming a little bit on the softer side. It's not that sharp. Guys, yes, I do understand that. But it's the same camera that I'm using. Everything is the same. And I'm also uploading at the same rate. I'm uploading at the maximum upload rate that YouTube Hangouts is allowing me. That's 4 megabit. That's the same. But I've noticed this is a problem with the YouTube's Hangouts encoding. It's just that they are not encoding it at a higher bitrate. Hence, the video is looking a little bit soft. But I don't have control over that. So just bear with me. Anyways, let's move to the next question. This is by King Naveen. He says, hi Ranjit, suggest me a good wireless Bluetooth gamepad for my Samsung Galaxy Note 4. You should check out this Amkit Bluetooth gamepad. This is working actually very well, and you can just open this and even put your smartphone in this and play games. And I already posted my review for this just about 10 days ago, so just check out my channel, and it works pretty well. I tested it with a couple of devices. I even posted the gaming review today with the Galaxy A7, and I played few games with that controller. So that's a pretty good gaming controller for Android devices. Let's move to the next one. This is by Mamu Ankit. He is asking, he says he has a budget of around 20,000 rupees. And he says, please suggest me a phone with good camera and display. Wow. Camera, I would say add a little bit more and go with the Nexus 5X. The Nexus 5X has a very good camera, but I think so the pricing is around 21 to 22,000. Camera is not the highest priority. Display is the highest priority. Then this Lenovo Vibe X3 would be my highest pick, I would say. The Lenovo X3 does not have a bad camera. People are, when I said it has a very average camera, the average camera performance is in indoor lighting and in artificial lighting. In outdoor lighting, when we have ample of lighting, the camera performance is actually very good. So if you take a lot of pictures in indoor lighting and in artificial lighting, then my pick would be the Nexus 5X for the camera. But if you can compromise a little bit on the camera, then the Vibe X3 would be the best option in my opinion. Let's move. This is by Karthik. He's asking, how do you manage your internet FUP limit? For a normal user like me, 100 gigabyte fair usage policy is restrictive. It goes just in 10 days. Karthik, actually, I don't watch a lot of content. In fact, I would say my daughter and my wife actually watch a lot more YouTube than I do. I just don't get that much time to watch YouTube. And on an average, I've noticed that we consume about 3 gigabytes of data every day. Mostly that's due to my wife and my daughter. My daughter actually watches a lot of YouTube. She doesn't watch TV, watches a lot of YouTube. So, but I don't. So that's okay. And my ISP specifically, that's Beam. Now it's taken over by Act Broadband. They don't count the upload. I actually do a lot more uploads than downloads. So I consume on average about 3 gigabytes. The only time that I consume a lot of bandwidth is when I'm testing the phones and I have to download all the games, and I download all the games from Google Play Store. So let's say if I download even 4 or 5 games, these days many of the heavy games are about 1 to 1.5 GB. So that's my huge, for example, every phone on an average consumes about 5 gigabytes. So that's where a lot of bandwidth is needed for me. But apart from that, I'm okay, and it survives. And I survive, I would say. Let's move to the next one. Okay, this is by Dishant Singh. He says, which phone? He's confused. He says OnePlus One versus the Zenfone 2 versus the Mi 4 versus the Elite TV 1S. He says, my priority is camera, battery, and no lagginess. As you have said, camera is also a high priority. Then I would suggest the Mi 4. Apart from this, I would say the OnePlus One I would not suggest because the camera is pretty weak on the OnePlus One now. If you even compare it with the LE1S, Zenfone 2 camera is also not that great. So the Mi 4 would be my pick if 4G is not a high priority. But you can also check out the Samsung Galaxy J7. That had very good battery life, and the camera is also very good on that one. I hope that helps. So some of you who have just joined me, I just started this session 10 minutes earlier because we had a lot of questions. So again, you guys are also welcome. I'm just trying to cover up the questions. So let's move to the next one. This is by Aditya. He says he plans to buy the Nexus 6P in April. He's asking, is it a good decision? Because it's a 2015 phone. I would say the Nexus 6P is still a very good phone. This is the Nexus 6P, and this is my personal primary phone. And I still feel it's a very good phone. Now, as the Galaxy S7 will be launching in March, I would suggest you can also have a look at that. But I feel the Galaxy S7 pricing will be a lot more compared to the Nexus 6P. So let's move to the next one. This is by Yashraj. He's asking, do you think Samsung should upgrade their old flagships to new TouchWiz? Yes, they definitely should do that, but they are just not doing that. That's the irony with Samsung. Now the new TouchWiz is a lot leaner and it does perform a lot better, but it's sad to see that Samsung is just not upgrading their older devices. For example, Note 4 is a very capable device and it will run the new TouchWiz without any issues, but it's still running the old bloaty TouchWiz. But that's Samsung for you. Anyways, let's move. This is by IKM Preet. Sorry, I got your name wrong, but he's asking, does wireless charging support fast charging? Technically, for wireless charging, there is no fast charging standard by Qualcomm or anything. But the Samsung Note 5, if I recall, does support does charge quite fast compared to other phones if you charge it wirelessly. They're using some Samsung's own proprietary wireless charger, and if you use that wireless charger, even with wireless charging, it charges pretty quickly. But there's no official standard as of now for wireless quick charging like we have for wired charging by Qualcomm Quick Charge, Qualcomm Quick Charge 3, etc. Let's move. This is by Divyesh. He's asking, how is the Panasonic GH4 performing and which computer are you using? The Panasonic GH4 is performing fabulously. It's my favorite camera, and I would say 80% of the work that you see on my YouTube channel now is being shot with the Panasonic GH4. I just love it, and I would say I feel I'm angry at myself. Why didn't I get the camera a lot earlier? Because I wasted a lot of money on other cameras. So still, I love the Panasonic GH4, and most of my footage is shot using the Panasonic GH4. Regarding the computer that I'm using, my primary computer is the MacBook Pro, 15 inches, and that is the one. This is the one. And I mostly use it as a desktop computer. I have a monitor and a proper keyboard, everything connected, and all my editing and stuff is being done with that. My secondary computer is this Surface Pro 4 that I'm using. Whenever I'm out of this room, I just carry the Surface Pro 4, and this is my portable computer. So I hope that helps. Let's move to the next one. This is by Vignesh. He's asking, can you suggest me? He says, can you suggest me a phone having nice build quality, good in gaming, and have some additional features? Camera isn't a problem. Vignesh, as you have told, that camera is not a high priority to you. I would strongly recommend you the Vibe X3 because it offers incredible gaming performance. The gaming performance was excellent. You can check out my gaming review. Also, in terms of battery life, the battery life is excellent on this one. And also the speakers, it has that dual speakers and that dedicated DAC. So the sound output is very good. And it also has that additional functionality like fingerprint scanner and the IR blaster. So I feel the Vibe X3 does offer very good value for the price. Let's move to the next question. This is by Yashraj. This is again a computer related question, so I'll take this one. He's asking, should I buy the Surface Pro 4 Core i5 model with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes SSD variant? Yash Raj, yes, you can buy the Surface Pro 4. This is the Surface Pro 4 that I am personally using, and this is the base model that I'm using. This one is the Core i5 model with 4 gigabytes of RAM. But as I was very clear that I won't be using the Surface Pro 4 as my primary machine, so I got the 4 gigabyte RAM model. And to be very frank, I would say I'm pretty happy. I didn't expect that the 4 gigabyte RAM model would perform this well. And yes, I don't do video editing and stuff like that, but for other tasks, I use it almost all the time, and it's running very well. But again, if you're planning to use the Surface Pro 4 as your only primary machine, yes, I feel that going with 8 gigabyte RAM model would be a wise choice, because let's say if you do a lot of programming and you need to run virtual machines, and let's say if you even plan to do use heavy software like 3D modeling softwares or do heavy video editing, I could do 1080p video editing even on this base 4GB RAM model without any issues. But if you plan to edit 4K video and stuff, then I would strongly suggest the 8 gigabyte RAM model. I hope that helps. Let's move to the next question. Vignesh is again asking about will the Samsung Galaxy S7 perform well because it only has a 12 megapixel camera? Vignesh, you should just watch the video that I posted yesterday. Megapixel is not quality. In fact, I would say the 12 megapixel sensor that is on the Galaxy S7 will perform a lot better in artificial lighting and low lighting compared to the sensor that we had on the Galaxy S6 and the S6 Edge. Let's move to the next one. This is by Nimesh. He's asking, should I buy the TV LE1S or should I wait for the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3? If you have time, you can wait for the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3. We don't know how will it perform. It's going to launch on 3rd of March. So yes, I will definitely try to review it once it's available. And then only I can compare it with the LE1S and let you know which one is better. Let's move. This is by Karan. He's asking me if you update your camera or DSLR, which one will you pick? Karan, I have no plans of upgrading my DSLRs and cameras. In fact, I have my Canon 70D and I feel it's performing brilliantly. And I also have the Panasonic GH4 and I'm very happy with that. If Panasonic releases the GH5 in the near future, then I might upgrade to it if they offer some really innovative features. But as of now, I'm not looking for any upgrades. I'm very happy with my Canon 70D and the Panasonic GH4. This is by Abhishek. He's asking, should I go with the Mi 4 or any other device below 28,000? My main priority is the camera. The Mi 4 had a decent camera, I would say. In outdoor conditions, it does very well. But at night, when you use the flash, the pictures come out to be yellowish. I would also suggest that you have a look at the Galaxy J7. That cost just 15,000. And that one also had a very good camera. Let's move. Saurabh is asking, he says, suggest me a good phone under rupees 20,000. Gaming and battery is a priority. Camera is not a priority. Again, my vote will be again for the Vibe X3 if the camera is not the highest priority. It does excellent in gaming and also the battery life is excellent on that one. This is by Meet Chaudhary. Interesting question. This is regarding the Galaxy A7 2016 edition. He says, from He says he's undecided between these two devices. He says between the Galaxy A7 2016 edition or the Lenovo Vibe X3. Which one? Definitely the Lenovo Vibe X3, I would say. This Galaxy A7, yes, in terms of looks, it looks very good, I would say, but no way it can compete with the Vibe X3. In fact, it doesn't even have gyroscope sensor. So Samsung is cutting a lot on this Galaxy, what do you say, A7. In fact, I just posted the gaming review of the A7. Just watch that video. See how much it lagged in Nova 3. So I feel the Galaxy A7, yes, if you want that branded device from Samsung, it should look good. Battery life is actually very good. You can go with the A7. But again, in terms of value for money, I don't see value for money with the Galaxy A7. Definitely the Vibe X3 will go ahead. But yes, in terms of camera performance, Galaxy A7 will beat the camera if we compare it with the Vibe X3. Let's move. Let's move. This is by Kavilo. He's asking again a computer related question. He's asking if the same Intel Core i5 processor are used by both Apple and non-Apple laptops, why do others heat so much? Uh, Kavilo, again, it's not just the processor; it's the overall design. How easily the laptop can dissipate heat. So it's the designing that is very important. So you just can't compare it like that. Let's say if we take examples of even cars. Fiat used to outsource one of their very popular engines to other manufacturers also. And the irony was that Fiat's own cars were not that popular, but the other OEM, for example, if I remember, it was Maruti. They made much better cars with the same engine. So it's just not the processor; it's the overall engineering, how easily it can dissipate the heat, and how well it works with other components makes the difference. Let's move to the next one. This is again. I won't. I'll just try to restrict the questions. One question per user because a lot of questions I'm getting. Uh, this is by Mustafa. He's asking best three phones in three categories. He says around 10,000 rupees. I would say add 1,000 rupee is more and go with the LE1S for that price point. Around 20,000, he says my vote will be the Vibe X3. And last, he says a high-end flagship where budget is not a criteria. As of now, if budget is not a criteria, my pick would be the Nexus 6P or the Galaxy Note 5. So I hope that helps. Now, give me a second, guys. Let me just refresh the questions. 1 second. Oops, so many questions. Give me a second, guys. This is by Iron Sheikh. He's asking, what is the minimum amount of RAM required to play heavy games? Actually, you don't require a lot of RAM. That's a misconception that you require 3 gigabytes of RAM or 4 gigabytes of RAM to play high-end games on a smartphone. The GPU is the most important thing. In fact, I would say currently, if your smartphone is having 1.5 gigabytes of RAM, it should be able to play most of the high-end games without any issues. The GPU is the most important thing. In fact, just about 4 or 5 months ago, I posted a video specifically on this topic. What to look for a smartphone for gaming, and RAM certainly not the highest thing. For example, the Galaxy J7 that had just 1.5 gigabytes of RAM. Just watch the gaming review that I did on it about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago. It could run even most of the heavy games without any issues because the screen resolution and the GPU match is a very good combo. The GPU that Samsung has selected is perfectly capable of pushing even high graphics for a 720p panel. But again, the same GPU, if you notice, we have almost the same GPU on the Galaxy A7, but the Galaxy A7 lags in those same games due to the simple fact that the screen resolution is 1080p. Hence, the GPU has to work a lot more on this Galaxy A7. So it's just not the RAM, it's the GPU and the screen resolution. The higher the screen resolution, the more powerful the GPU is needed to run those games. Let's move to the next question. This is by Akshat Patel. He's asking, did you like the design of the Galaxy S7? They made it full thicker. Akshar, actually, I'm happy that they made it a little bit thicker, and because of that, we are getting better battery capacity. I am like just fed up of these manufacturers making slimmer and slimmer phones and compromising on the battery. I'm happy that Samsung finally decided that's a stupid thing and battery life is important. So I'm not worried about the extra 1 mm thickness of the Galaxy S7. And yes, the Galaxy S7 is even weighs a little bit more compared to the Galaxy S6. But again, we have better battery life, supposed to have better battery life. So I think so it's a good move. This is by Karthik Soni. He's asking, what's the difference between 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi band and the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi band? The 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi band is the normal Wi-Fi band that you get, but the 5 gigahertz band is the newer one, and we have the AC band. The 2.4 gigahertz, the problem with the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi band is that it's actually too crowded. Almost every router supports 2.4 gigahertz band. Hence, it's very crowded. So you don't get that much high throughput speeds on the 2.4 gigahertz band. But the 5 gigahertz band is not that congested. And we have the Wi-Fi AC standard, which can transmit at very high speeds. That's about 1.3 gigabits and stuff. So again, the problem with the 5 gigahertz band is not that not all devices will support the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi band. But again, if you have a latest smartphone, most of the high-end smartphones support 5 gigahertz band, and a new computer that will support the 5 gigahertz band. So again, your router also needs to support that. So just check if your router supports 5 gigahertz band, and if your devices supports 5 gigahertz band, it's a good idea to opt for that. For example, this live stream that I'm doing I'm doing it wirelessly because my MacBook Pro does not have any physical Ethernet card, and I'm using the 5 gigahertz band because it's much more reliable. And it offers a lot more bandwidth. Anyways, let's move to the next question. This is by Safar Shakti. He's asking, suggest me a best powerful laptop for editing and gaming stuff. Sapphire, I would suggest that go with the Core i7 based laptops that come with a quad-core processor, at least with 8 gigabytes of RAM, preferably 16 gigabytes. That should suffice your needs. For example, for me, video editing is sort of important because I produce videos on a daily basis. I am using a MacBook Pro 15 inches that has a Core i7 processor with 16 gigabytes of RAM. Also, if you're adding a lot of effects and stuff in your video, I generally don't do that. But if you're planning to do that, then going with a dedicated graphic card option would also be a nice option. Anyways, let's move to the next question. This is by Techie Anant. He's asking, do you plan to shift to Premiere Pro sometime, as now you have the Surface Pro and you're planning to do video on its peer? Techie Anant, no, I have no plans to move to Premiere Pro as my video editing software. I'm very, very happy with Final Cut Pro that runs on the Mac. If I'm traveling, I plan to carry the Surface Pro 4 when I travel because it's way lighter than my MacBook Pro. But even if I have to do video editing on the Surface Pro 4, I won't be using Premiere. I will be using Sony Vegas, or Sony also has one more version that comes under, Sony Vegas. I'm forgetting the name. In fact, I have a license of it. I purchased it last year. I'll be using that. I won't be using the Premiere because for primary editing, I will still be using the Final Cut Pro X because it works very well for me. Let's move to the next question. This is by Ayush. He's asking, what is the best standout feature that you found on the LG G5? I would say that modular functionality. We were hearing about this from last year, but LG is the first one to actually implement on a mass scale. So I'm really excited about that modular functionality that we have on the LG G5. And guys, this is just we are starting into this. So it will be really interesting what other OEMs will bring in the next 6 months. So exciting times ahead, I would say. This is by Abhishek. He's asking, is the Vibe X3 better than the Moto X Style? I would say the Vibe X3 overall is a better phone than the Moto X Style, but I would say in terms of camera performance, the Moto X style has a way better camera. But in terms of battery life, I would say yes, the Moto X, the Vibe X 3 goes way ahead. In terms of speaker loudness, both of them have that dual speaker. In terms of pure loudness, I would say the Moto X style speakers are louder, but we have a lot more definition in the speakers of this Vibe X3. And also the headphone jack, if you listen to a lot of music, is much better on the Vibe X3. So I would say, considering the price to performance ratio, Vibe X3 would get my vote, but camera is the highest priority, and the Moto X style goes ahead. Give me a second, guy. This is by Sanant Kumar. He's asking, hi Ranjit, why don't you review Oppo mobiles? I would like to know about Oppo F1 selfie. Sanat Kumar, the thing is that I have very limited time. I work alone. And the thing is, a lot of smartphones get manufactured and get launched every month. There are like tons and tons of devices. And the simple fact is that I get very, very few inquiries for Oppo devices. It's not even just about 1 or 2% inquiries are about Oppo devices. So I just can't devote my time on devices where users are simply not asking for it. Hence, I just avoid that. I would say, in consideration about the devices, I give a weight to about 75% of the weight what devices I review based on the request I get. So it's a simple maths. I just don't get that much inquiries for Oppo devices and other devices like Gioni, etc. Anyways, let's move to the next question. Some of you are asking me about D brand skin. I haven't used it, so can't comment about it. This is by Musab Ahmed. He's asking, which phone is better, the Galaxy On 5 or the Galaxy J5? Definitely the Galaxy J5 is way, way better. This is by Venkat. He's asking, do you think the Galaxy S7 and the LG G5 have Force Touch display? No, they don't have Force Touch display. I'm glad that they didn't try to copy actually Apple. This is by Aditya Singh. He's asking about video editing software for beginners. I would say if you're having a Mac, just use iMovie. It's an excellent, excellent software. And in fact, I think so. I must have made my first 400 odd videos with iMovie. It's an excellent software that you get free with the Mac. On Windows, again, you can check Sony Vegas. Don't go with the Sony Vegas. It's pretty expensive. They have one more variant under that. I'm forgetting the name. I did use that for a year. So you can even check out that. Let's move to the next one. This is by Chiman Dumal. He's asking, which phone do you suggest, the Lenovo K4 Note or the Moto G3 in terms of overall specs? Chiman, I have already posted reviews for both these phones, so definitely watch that review. I would say the Lenovo K4 Note did not impress me that much. I would say the standout feature for that device was this: if you plan to use it with VR and use that Theater Max, then that is the phone for you. But apart from that, I would pick the Moto G3 or the LE1S over the Lenovo Vibe K4 Note. Let's move. Jay Bhaskar is asking me this question. I don't have an answer, but I'll just take a, maybe some of you can answer. He's asking, I'm looking for a tablet. Can you suggest a good tablet under rupees 15,000? Jay, I haven't actually tested any tablet recently under the 15,000 price band that I liked. So can't answer that question. This is by Soumya Rajan Acharya. He's asking, which phone do you recommend under rupees 15,000? He says, I'll buy whichever phone you recommend. I would say you can have a look at LE1S. I feel it offers incredible value for the price. Yes, the camera performance in artificial lighting is pretty average, but again, under this price band. You don't get spectacular camera performance anyway. So LE1S is one of my picks. Then you have the Moto G3 2 GB RAM model. That is also a good choice. And I would say even the Galaxy J7 is a good choice. And another option is the Xiaomi Mi 4 if 4G and dual SIM is not your high priority. So these are the devices that I like under 15,000 price band. Some of you are asking me about video editing softwares for the Mac. Guys, I just don't do video editing on Windows computer, sorry. So I just can't comment about free video editing softwares that I've used with Windows. This is by Ravi Raj. He's asking, is it a good choice now to buy the Moto X Play? He says he's a Moto fan. I would say the Moto X Play was an okay phone earlier, but now after using the Vibe X3, I feel the Moto X Play, I simply can't recommend that device because it lags also in gaming. It's a decent phone. Don't get me wrong, it's a decent phone. And yes, if you say you're a Moto fan, you can definitely go with that. But again, in heavy gaming, do note that it will exhibit a little bit of lagginess. One second, guys. This is by Harshal Shah. He's asking, Galaxy S7 can take pictures only in 4:3 ratio in the highest setting. Your thoughts? Yes. With the Samsung Galaxy S7, Samsung went with a sensor with the 4:3 ratio, just like that we have on the Nexus 6P. The Nexus 6P also has a 12 megapixel sensor, and its sensor is also in the 4:3 ratio. So I don't see that as a problem. If you want to go down to 16:9, yes, you have to go down in the resolution. I think so. It should be around 9 megapixel, but that's how it is. Let's move. This is by Sandeep Prashad. Sandeep. He's asking, does the Vibe X3 support fast charging? If not, then why some websites claim that? No, the Vibe X3 does not support Qualcomm quick charging. I did test it. I have a couple of Qualcomm quick chargers, and charging it with the charger that is supplied with the Vibe X3 and using a Qualcomm quick charger made no difference. So it does not support quick charging officially. The maximum current in terms of wattage that it pulled was around 10 watts. Let's move. This is by Avinash Chari. He's asking which one. He's asking, I think so, me. Which one do I prefer? Nikon versus Canon. I'm a Canon person. I have been using Canon DSLRs for a long time. So I'm a Canon person. Because earlier, I would say this is about 4 years ago. Basically, I use my DSLRs mostly for video. And at that time, in terms of video, Canon was way more popular and it offered a lot more options. So I have been going with Canon and I stick with Canon DSLRs. Let's move. One second, guys. Oops, where did it? Questions are just scrolling around. Oops. This is by Rahul Patel. He's asking, you haven't reviewed the MacBook 2015. Yes, I haven't reviewed it and I have no plans to review it. I feel the MacBook 2015, that slim one, is just overpriced and it just have a single USB-C port. So it makes it sort of impractical, I would say. So not a big fan of that device and I have no plans to review it. This is by Chimal Dhumal. He's asking which processor is good for gaming, Snapdragon 410 or the Snapdragon 615. I do heavy gaming. Chimal, I would say the Snapdragon 615 is technically a more powerful processor. For example, I would say the Moto G Turbo does great in gaming with the Snapdragon 615. Because the screen resolution is 720p. So I would say the gaming performance on the Snapdragon 615 would be excellent if the screen resolution of your device is up to 720p. But I see some manufacturers, for example, Motorola did it with the Moto X Play. Though it has the Snapdragon 615, but the screen resolution they bumped up to 1080p. And because of that, that device lags in gaming. So I would say Snapdragon 615 up to 720p screen resolution, you should have no issues with gaming. It'll run all the heavy games also without any issues. Pritesh, yeah, regarding the video editing software, this is by Pritesh. He says regarding video editing software for Windows, it's the Sony Movie Studio Platinum. I bought the same after your recommendation. Yes, that is the one that I also purchased about 1.5 years ago. It's the Sony Movie Studio Platinum, and it is pretty affordable. I think so. It cost around $100 US, if I recall. At least 1.5 to 2 years ago, it was that price. It's I would say. Sits slightly lower than the Sony Vegas, but Sony Vegas is around $600. So if you're just doing casual video editing or just getting into editing on Windows, then Sony, I would say, Movie Studio Platinum is a very good choice in my opinion. So guys, it's been over 40 minutes now, so I will be ending this live Q&A session. And do remember guys, we do this live Q&A sessions every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. So I hope that you will be able to join me. Till then, take care, and I hope to see you again in my next video.